Dads, what's the craziest reason you've ever grounded your son for? So my 12-year-old son Noah comes home from school last Tuesday talking about how his class needs a pet. I'm thinking hamster, maybe a fish tank if they're lucky. But Noah keeps going on about how it needs to be something useful that can help around the house too. I figured this was just another one of his phases, like when he wanted to get a pet snake because he saw some nature documentary. So I just nodded and went back to watching TV. But then I wake up Saturday morning to this loud banging coming from the garage. Sounds like someone's throwing stuff around in there. I grab my coffee and shuffle out to check what's going on, thinking maybe Noah's looking for his bike or something. I open the garage door and there's Noah standing there with the biggest smile on his face, like it's Christmas morning. And right next to him is this brown goat just chewing on one of my work boots like it's a piece of candy. I'm standing there in my pajamas, coffee mug halfway to my mouth, trying to process what I'm seeing. The goat looks at me, still chewing my boot, and makes this weird bleeding sound. "Dad, meet Charlie," Noah says, like this is totally normal. "Isn't he awesome?" I'm like, "Noah, why is there a goat in our garage?" Turns out this kid had been saving every penny of his allowance for the past 2 months. He even did extra chores for the neighbors to make more money. Then he found some farmer online who was selling goats for $50 each. But here's the crazy part. Noah somehow convinced the farmer's teenage son to deliver the goat while I was at work yesterday. They just tied it up in the garage and left. No adult supervision, nothing. The garage was already trashed by the time I found them. Charlie had ripped open 2 bags of fertilizer, chewed through some wires under my car hood, and knocked over half a bucket of paint all over the concrete floor. White paint everywhere. But that wasn't even the worst part. Apparently, Charlie had already broken into the backyard earlier that morning and ate half of my wife's flower garden, the same garden she spent $300 on last spring. When I went outside to check, there's our cat stuck up in the oak tree, too scared to come down because this goat had been chasing her around the yard. Poor thing had been up there for who knows how long. I asked Noah what made him think buying a goat was a good idea. He looks at me with complete confidence and says, "Because goats eat everything, Dad. Charlie will save us tons of money on mowing the lawn." I didn't know whether to laugh or completely lose my mind. This kid had actually thought this through in his own 12-year-old way. He genuinely believed he was helping the family budget. My wife comes outside in her robe, sees the destroyed flower garden, and just stares at me like I'm supposed to have an explanation. Why is there a goat in our yard? Spent the entire weekend cleaning paint off the garage floor, fixing the chewed wires, and calling the farmer to come pick up Charlie. Had to pay him an extra $20 for the return trip too. My wife made me replant her entire flower garden, which cost another $200. The cat didn't come down from the tree until Sunday evening, and she's still jumpy around loud noises. So yeah, I grounded Noah for a month. No video games, no hanging out with friends, extra chores every day. But honestly, I was kind of impressed by his determination and problem-solving skills, even if they were completely insane.